Yo, what's good, YouTube? GamerZero coming at you with another episode of Festivals in Master Duel. So, as you can see, I'm almost done with the tournament here. I'm about like 1,500 points away. And yeah, I've been using a deck that is very close to my heart and that I feel like you would also have a lot of fun with. And it's also not that expensive compared to some of the other popular decks in the game. And this is not a popular deck by any means. So let's go and get right into the deck profile. We're running Vendread Zombies. All right. Now this deck, like I said, is very close to my heart. I love this deck, and it is one of the funnest decks that I have played in Master Duel as of yet. Because there's a lot of combos you can do and a lot of dumb things you can do with this deck. And I do have replays, of course, like I always have replays for these festivals and my videos. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to go ahead and start off with one Vendread Core. This card is in your graveyard. You can banish one of their zombie monsters from your graveyard, spell summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. A Vendread monster ritual summon using this card on the field gains the following effect. And you can only use each of the preceding effects of Vendread Core once per turn. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. So what that, you can only use each of the preceding effects of this card, meaning basically if you use this card for a ritual summon, you would, and then like let's say you got the effect of that this gives that ritual monster, right? And then you brought Vendread Core back, right? And then used him again for a different ritual summon on another ritual monster. You would not be able to give the Vendread Core effect to that guy on that same turn. So that's what that means. And most of these Vendread cards do have that preceding effect stipulation. So just know that if you use the effect, if you give the effect to a ritual monster in that turn, you will not be able to give it again to a different ritual monster to ritual summon. So there you go. We have Vendread Anima. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one of your banished Vendread monsters except Vendread Anima. Special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. A Vendread monster ritual summon using this card on the field gains the following effect. You can only use each of the preceding effects of Vendread Anima once per turn. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So this guy's a utility to get your guys that are banished back. And you could also, have like a whole, destroyed by battle and you're banished. And this one I forgot, you can't target, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. So that makes it to where the guy on board cannot be targeted by card effects, the one that got the effect to this guy. And there is a combo with this guy and this guy, and we'll get to that in a second. Then we're running two Glow Boom. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add one level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand. Or if Zombie World is in a field zone, you can spell summon it from your deck instead. Also, in either case, you cannot spell summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. And you can only use the effect of Glow Bloom once per turn. So this guy is going to help you get not only your Al Ghul Mazeras out, but your Doom King Ballardrock. I'm only running one. You can run two. You can run three. Whatever ratio you feel like. I'm only running one because I do have a card to recycle this guy back if it's banished, and we will get into that in a bit. We have Vendread Striges 1. You could actually bump this guy up to multiples because this guy is very good and he'll help you link climb and stuff. So if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can reveal one Vendread card in your hand to summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. A Vendread monster ritual summon using this card on the field gains the following effect. You can only use each of the preceding effects of Vendread Striges once per turn. After damage calculation, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can draw one card and discard one card. And really, the thing that makes this guy one of the best Vendread monsters in the main deck is the ability that if this card is sent to the graveyard anyway, you can just bring him out. You're running a Vendread deck. You usually have Vendread cards in your hand. Show one to your opponent. Boom. You got a little birdie out there doing his thing. And you can link, ritual, tribute, whatever you want to do with this guy, whatever your fancy is. And unfortunately, we cannot run synchros or anything like that because this guy is definitely, especially in my real build of this deck, is synchro fodder. So definitely, I would probably bump this up to two maybe, but it's really up to you. I only run the one because, like I said, we do have a card in here to recycle our zombie monsters. All right, we have two Unizombie. I wasn't running three because I'm running three Samurai Skull instead, but you could do whatever you want. You can target one face-up monster on the field, discard one card, and if you do, increase that target's level by 1. You can target one face-up monster on the field. Monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. Also, send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, increase that target's level by 1. You can only use each effect of Unizombie once per turn. And the reason we're using Unizombie is because he can dump. He can take a dump. And we want to take as many dumps as possible on this deck. And I know it doesn't sound right, but that is what this zombies do, bro. We take dumps, and then we use our poop to throw at our opponent in the form of big, giant, undead monsters. So that is how we do it. Then we're running one Vendread Hound Horde. If this card is in your graveyard, you can discard one Vendread card, spell summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. A Vendread monster ritual summon using this card on the field gains the following effect. You can only use each of the preceding effects of Vendread Hound Horde once per turn. Once per turn, quick effect, you target one spell / trap your opponent controls, banish it. And this card is amazing, especially in this ritual tournament. A lot of people like to set back row. This is really good versus the Bikanko deck. When they don't have that little yellow chick out there being an asshole, yeah, you want to be able to banish spells and traps, especially Libromancers, Novell, all those decks like spell and traps. This gets rid of them once per turn, quick effect, so you can do it on your opponent's turn too, and it banishes it, so it's you ain't gonna recycle it unless you got something to recycle banish cards. Then we got one Mizuki. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one zombie monster in your graveyard, spell summon that target. Just one, because we don't need Mizuki, but he's a good little cherry on top. To be honest, if you want to, you could actually take Mizuki out for like another one of these, or a Unizombie, or even another Baller Drock. Whatever your fancy. You don't need Mizuki, but I wanted to put it in because I like Mizuki for the utility that it provides for zombie monsters. Then we're running one Gozuki. This card I suggest you do definitely put it in, maybe at 2 or even 3, because this guy is amazing. During your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish one zombie monster from your graveyard, except Gozuki, so summon one zombie monster from your hand, and you can always use each effective Gozuki once per turn. So basically, he's another, I'm going to take a dump, and yeah, if you want to take a dump. The other effect doesn't really come up too much, but if it does come up, it does come up, and you can use it however you feel like, but really he's just there to take a dump, and really you want to take a dump in this deck very badly, like very badly. So when this, we have 3 Samurai Skull, this is what I opted for, and it's actually been performing very well, to the point where, I don't know, I'm like, man, this guy's kind of good, man, for a normal card. Like, this guy is kind of lit. So when this card is normal, that's the only downside right there. The normal summon part. That is the only thing that I would think makes this guy a little bit less consistent than the other guys. But I do like this guy. I like this guy a lot. When this card is normal summon, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. This face-up card and its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect. You can special summon one level 4 or lower zombie monster from your deck, except Samurai Skull. And that is the whole reason I like that. Like, that's the biggest part why I like that guy, because of the fact that if they do something to him by card effect, which a lot of people have done, you get a free guy. And I've had this guy get Ash Blossom just because the guy really wanted to stop me, quote unquote. I'm like, bro, I'm running zombies. You know I got all this shit in my graveyard. Why? Okay, okay, my turn, and then go for game. You know what I mean? All right, then we have Vendread Revenants, probably the crappiest Vendread out of all of them, but gives the best effect to the ritual monster out of all the Vendreads. So, if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. A Vendread monster ritual summon using this card on the field gains this effect. You can only use the preceding effect of Vendread Revenants once per turn. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, banish it. So that is the whole reason why he's good, but he doesn't have any abilities like to really recur himself like quickly. He has to be you have to wait for your opponent to do something. You know what I mean? Or one thing you could also do is like if you attacked into a monster that's bigger than him, like on your turn, and then you could bring him back. But like, who wants to do any of that? This guy doesn't have a very easy way to bring him out, which is why it makes him the crappiest one. But at the same time, he has the best effect. Banish special summon monsters. I've curb stomped so many people just with this effect on one of my ritual monsters, and they just quit the game. You know, they're sitting there, they don't know what to do, and they quit. So yeah, this guy, you definitely want to run at least one because he's great. Two Necro World Banshee, Zombie World in the field zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target it with card effects. Quick effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard to activate one Zombie World directly from your hand or deck. You can only use this effect of Necro World Banshee once per turn. Basically, it's just a way to get to Zombie World quicker, you know what I mean? If you don't draw it, or, you can kind of use Unit Zombie if you have it, and you can get the whole Doom King Baller Drop combo going if you have it with this. You know what I mean? So, okay, and then of course this is the main guy right here, main star of the deck, Scar of the Vendread. You need three. There's no, you ain't gonna run one. You're gonna run three. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Vendread spell / trap from your deck to the hand. If a monster or monsters on the field is tributed while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can banish one other zombie monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. And if you do, while it is face up in the monster zone, you cannot special summon monsters except Vendread monsters. You can only use each effect of Scar of the Vendread once per turn. This guy right here is the dumbest card in the deck, hands down, 100%, no debate. This guy, any way he goes to the graveyard, you get a search for a Vendread spell or trap. That is like literally, look how many spells and traps we're running. And let me see how many Vendread ones we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is 14 cards that you can potentially just, any one of them, grab to your hand. And they're all good. They're all good because they all help the archetype. And then the ability that this guy has to put himself back on board is amazing. You know what I mean? Just the fact that he puts himself back on board to set up another potential search on your opponent's turn is amazing. And yes, he does have that stipulation to where you cannot summon anything except Vendread monsters, correct? So that's why we have other ways to use this guy, but there's a combo with this guy with the other new guy that came when this guy came out. I know that's kind of weird, but yeah, we're gonna get into that in a bit. So we're running one Doom King Baller Drop. During the standby phase, if a face-up card is in a field zone and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense position. You only use this effect of Doom King Baller Drop once per turn. Once per chain, when a zombie monster except Doom King Baller Drop activates this effect, except during the damage step quick effect, you can apply one of these effects, but you cannot apply that same effect of Doom King Baller Drop again this turn. You can either negate that effect or banish one monster from the field or graveyard. So when you start to set up your zombie world plays, you get Doom King Baller Drop out. You can literally do whatever. Your opponent can activate a monster, you can stop it, or you can banish, or there's a cool combo which we will get into in a bit, that you can do. But really, any of your zombie monsters activating will trigger this guy, and you can go ahead and banish, and you can go ahead and negate other stuff that your opponent does. And the reason why you can negate with Doom King Baller Drop is because you have Zombie World out, and Zombie World makes all monsters on the field zombies, including your opponents. So if they activate one of their zombie monsters when Zombie World's on the field, boom, Baller Drop. No. You know what I mean? So there you go. Then we're running GamerZero. If a zombie monster or monsters you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard instead. If this card is banished from the hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense position. Then you can reduce its level by 1. You can only use each effect of GamerZero once per turn. So the reason we're running this guy is for protection. If they try to lightning storm or even kill my guy by battle and I don't have any way to stop them, but I do have this in my hand or graveyard, you can go ahead and banish them. Protect your guys, all your guys too. So that's what I said, Lightning Storm, Dark Hole, or Geki. This guy stops that. And then you can get a free body on board. And then if you get him into the graveyard, you could potentially do it all over again. You know what I mean? So you really, you could probably get away with running only one of this guy, but I wanted two just so I could have it. That's it. All right, now we're getting to the ritual monsters. We are running one Vendread Chimera. This guy, I've never even brought him out, so you could probably cut him. He's not that good. I never bring this guy out, but I have him in here just for utility. You can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell. When a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card on the field, quick effect, you can banish one zombie monster from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is tributed or banished for a ritual summon, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. You can only use each effect of Vendread Chimera once per turn. Like I said, he's really not that good. I'll probably end up cutting him anyway. I wanted to try him out. And to be honest, this entire tournament, festival, I've never brought him out, not one time. Not once. So definitely he is very cuttable. You can run something else in place of him. We have, of course, two Revendred Slayer. You can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell once per turn. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation quick effect, you can banish one zombie monster from your graveyard. This card gains 300 attack. If this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Revendred Slayer once per turn. So basically, what you're going to want to do with this guy is you're going to want to run two to three of him because he is the main star of this deck. And if this guy goes to the graveyard after he's ritual summoned anyway, you're going to be able to get some searches and some dumps. So it's two things that most decks like to do, and the other thing is what zombies like to do, which is take a dump. This guy's amazing. Run him at two to three. It's up to you. Definitely, this guy's amazing. Then we have two Vendread Battlelord. You can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell. You can banish one Vendread card from your graveyard and declare one type of card, monster, spell, or trap. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects of that type. If this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one Vendread monster from your deck to your graveyard. You can only use each effect of Vendread Battlelord once per turn. So this is the big bad Shockmaster zombie version of him, and he's gonna come out and stop Nibiru. This is one of the big plays with this guy is stopping Nibiru, but you can also use him for other things. So like if your opponent's running a bunch of trap cards, you could bring him out and either force them to use something on him to take care of him, or you get a big bonus and they can't activate trap cards for the rest of the turn. Spell cards as well. If you say spell cards, no. You say monster effects, no. But like I said, this guy is the big bad Nibiru stopper because in the middle of your combo, because there's a little combo, and I will show you that there is a way that you can bring out four monsters. Like this guy, this is going to be your fourth summon. And then you can use his effect for monsters, and then you continue your combo, and you could potentially get up to another 2 to 3 guys out on board very easily. And then they can't do anything about it because Nibiru didn't shut them down, right? Or I shut down Nibiru. So yeah. And then this guy, of course, he has the utility of Vendread Slayer, but kind of in the reversed way, where he can search a ritual monster and then dump a Vendread monster. So he still does two things, you know, every deck wants to search, right? And then zombies like to dump. So he's the best of both worlds, but just a little less consistent because Revendred Slayer searches a ritual spell while he searches a ritual monster. So, you see. Then we have one Revendred Executor. You can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell. This card's name becomes Revendred Slayer while on the field. While this ritual summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects except this card. If this ritual summon card is destroyed by battle or destroyed by an opponent's card effect while in its owner's monster zone, you can add one Vendread card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect or Revendred Executor once per turn. And basically, this is the guy I was telling you about that you can combo with Core. So if you get Core out and you bring this guy out, your entire field is untargetable, right? That's cool. That is good, because sometimes people like to target. You know what I mean? Most cards in the game do target. There are some cards that don't target, but I could definitely tell you in this tournament, there's not that many cards that don't target. You know what I mean? I could say this guy don't target, but you got to be running zombies for that. So, and then, like I said, with this guy, he's cool. He's not the best Vendread, but he is a part of a combo, and you do want to run at least one for the combo, which I will show you. So, and then basically, you want to have this guy there as a utility. Basically, you're going to use this guy, right? You're going to use this guy and this guy to bring him out. And you're going to have your big bad Revendred Executor out there, or Revendred Slayer, because that's what his name is on the field. That's what card says. And that, you're going to have him with all these busted effects. He's 3,000. You can't target any of my cards. And yeah, what's up, bro? That's really what he's about. If you bring this guy out and he's uncontested, you're probably going to win the game. Most likely, unless your opponent's running some super cancers type shit, you know what I mean? Alright, then we got two Vendread Scavenger. This is some of the new support. This card and this card were some of the new wave of support that came to Match Duel some months ago. So you can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell. During the main phase quick effect, you can tribute one other zombie monster. This card gains attack equal to the tributed monster's original attack until the end of this turn. If you control Revendread Slayer and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Vendread Scavenger once per turn. Now, this card is amazing because not only is it a pre-preparation of rights target for the new ritual spell that came out a few months ago and himself, but the fact that you can special summon him if Revendread Slayer is on your field. Now, disclaimer: this guy cannot be special summoned if Revendread Slayer is on your field if you discard him from your hand or if he gets sent from the field to the deck to the graveyard. You're going to need to have a properly ritual summoned one in your grave for that effect to be activatable. Right now, the thing that I do like about this guy too is that with this dude, it's the match made in heaven. Because remember, you can tribute one other zombie quick effect during the main phase. This card will gain attack, correct? Tribute him on your opponent's turn, you get a search. And this guy becomes like what? 5,100? 5,100, get a search. What's up? And then, like I said, if you happen to use him with any of the other Vendread monsters, he is going to gain all those Vendread monster abilities from the smaller guys. So this guy's pretty good. Run 2 because he's very versatile and he's very good. Very good. This guy can help set up super duper OTKs, man. This guy, and he can help you get searches, and he can also like I said, he's also a pre-preparation of rights target. So that's amazing. All right, so that's it for the monsters. We're going to go into the spells. We have one Foolish Burial, send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. Just the spell card version of taking a dump. What more could you ask for zombies? All right, pre-preparation of rights. Add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and add one ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand whose name is mentioned on that ritual spell. You can only activate one pre-preparation of rights per turn. You want to max out on this card, run 3. There's no, you got to use it. All right, then we're running 2 Zombie Worlds. All monsters on the field and in the graveyards become zombie monsters. Neither player contributes summon monsters except zombie monsters. So this card can mess up some decks, but to be honest, Zombie World hasn't really been as effective in this tournament as I've seen in other duels that I've had with Zombie World. But it's still a good overall card because you can get the Doom King Baller Jock engine going. That's really all it's being used for right now. Yeah. Next card. Vendread Knights running 1. You can actually run multiples of this if you wanted to. It's really up to you, but I would definitely run 1 because it's a cool card and it does a lot of good things. And you probably do want to search this card off of like Scar, but it doesn't help like what you really want to do, which is ritual summon. So you can discard 1 card, add 1 Vendread monster from your deck to your hand. You can use this effect of Vendread Knights once per turn. When your Vendread monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can banish 1 Vendread monster from your graveyard. It can attack an opponent's monster again in a row. So basically, this card is going to help you not only search, but it's going to help you set up OTKs, right? You take a bunch of dumps and fill up your grave with a bunch of ammo, essentially. Bring out your ritual monster, like aka this dude, make him real big by sacking one of your big guys, and then you just beat him down. One boom, 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 game. You know what I mean? I've done it. I think I even have a replay to show y'all. Don't be like, oh, you don't have it, because if I don't have it, I probably was full on replays at the time. But I remember doing that a couple times in this tournament. So, and this card, like I said, it does help you search your Vendread monsters, and you can discard any card to search your Vendread monsters. So this card is pretty good, but 1 is fine. You can run 2, even 3 if you really wanted to. It's really up to you. Like I said, most of the time, what I usually say is you could take my deck, use it as a template, and make whatever you want, and I still wholeheartedly will abide by that. Use this deck as a template, and you could play around with it, dude. Make it your own. That's I advocate for that. All right, then we're running through Vendread Origin. This card can be used to ritual summon any Vendread ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field and or banish zombie monsters from your graveyard whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. If Vendread Slayer or Slayers you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So basically, this card is the best ritual card in the entire deck because you can banish guys from your grave to special summon a guy from your grave or your hand, and then it's also protection for Vendread Slayer, which there's a few cards in this deck that become Revendreth Slayer or are Revendreth Slayer, which is Revendreth Slayer. So, but yeah, this is the starter, the first ritual spell you usually want to activate before the combo is this card. But if you don't have the combo, then this card is fine too, right? But even this one is fine too, which we'll get into right now. Revendread Evolution. This card can be used to ritual summon any Vendread ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You must also tribute monster from your hand or field and or send one Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard whose total levels equal the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. The ritual summon monster is destroyed during the end phase of the next turn. You can only activate one Revendread Evolution once per turn. So basically what I use this for is really either to bring out a Slayer or to bring this guy out, or even this guy. Like I said, since you're running multiples, and this guy's a level 8 and these are 2, you can now use this card to either summon him, you could dump this, or you could dump another Slayer, right? And you usually want to dump this to get a search, right? Or you could use it to, Battlelord can dump a Battlelord to summon Battlelord, right? Or you could dump this to summon this, or dump this to summon this. You see what I mean? So it's like a 1-card ritual, essentially. You know, well, 2-card, because if you have the ritual monster in your hand, that's 2. But if it's in your grave, you have 1. And you can special summon from your graveyard with this card. Ritual summon from your graveyard, I should say. So yeah, this card is good, and it's the second piece of the combo. But excuse me, this card is definitely a good utility. 2 is fine. Ravenous Vendread, the new ritual spell that came a couple months back in Master Duel. So we have special summon one Vendread monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard in face down defense position except Vendread Scavenger, then apply the following effect. Ritual summon any one Vendread ritual monster from your hand or graveyard by attributing monsters you control, including a monster special summoned by this card. Those whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster, you can only activate one Ravenous Vendread per turn. So basically, this card it's the second best, even though it has a super duper dumb effect. The only downside to this card is that it can get Ash Blossoms. I hate that. I hate it when it happens because like my opponent will save an Ash Blossom just for me to use this and get Ash, and then I can't do anything if I don't have any other ritual spells. But yeah, this card is amazing. It allows you to get any of the any of the main deck monster that you want to give the effect of to a ritual monster and just bring it out right then and there. Or you can even go for the big guy, the level 6, and you can get a search. You know what I mean? So this card is amazing. You want to max out on this card for this tournament, right? Then we have 2 Vendread Charge, which has performed beautifully. Send one zombie monster from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard. Special summon one Vendread monster from your deck. You can only activate one Vendread Charge per turn. Basically, you get rid of some stuff in your hand that you don't need, and then you get a guy you actually do need. And it's a Vendread monster, which is what you're gonna want, because you can only special summon Vendread monsters with this. So, yeah, definitely this card is amazing. I love this card, and being able to use 2 of it in this tournament, because I usually only main deck 1. But I think now, like, I have to run 2 now. Like, this card is just too good, bro, for this version of this deck. Like, with the new support, you gotta at least run 2. And in this deck, run 2. Like, you can even run 3 if you wanted to, just for more consistency. Then we have we're moving on to traps now. We're done with the spells. We have 1 Vendread Reorigin. This card is amazing. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls that has a level, tribute it. And if you do, special summon 1 Vendread token, zombie, dark, attack 0, defense 0, with a level equal to the tributed monster's original level. While the token special summoned by this effect is on the field, you cannot normal or special summon monsters except Vendread monsters. Reason you want to use 1 is because it's searchable with this guy, right? So if you get your combo, then you dump that guy, right? Search this out. I've had boards where I had this dude out, so that's a negate, 2 banishes, and a tribute with like this engrave and like this engrave. That's 4 disruptions on top of protection. 2 protections. You can't tell me that that's not good. Especially in a tournament like this, you get 3 disruptions. Just run 1. Trust me. 1 is fine. And remember, all these traps are searchable. All of them. You can search them all with Scar of Vendread, right? Alright, Vendread Revolution. Discard 1 Discard 1 card, then target 1 Vendread monster and 1 ritual spell in your graveyard. Special summon that monster in defense position, and if you do, add that ritual spell to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target 5 of your banished zombie monsters, shuffle them into your deck, draw 1 card. You can only use each effect of Vendread Revolution once per turn. Now, this card, I'm using it because of the simple fact that you can banish it from your graveyard, target 5 of your banished zombies, shuffle them deck, and draw 1. So it's like a pseudo pot of avarice for zombie monsters that are banished, right? Then the first effect of this card, I've really never used this card, but you can. You know, it's actually not a bad effect. You can just ditch a card you don't need, and you get a Vendread monster and a ritual spell, so you can just set up a ritual right then and there. So that's pretty solid too. But for the most part, I don't use it for that. But you might, you know, it might come up, and it never came up for me though. But it might. You never know. So this card has 2 good effects and is searchable. So think about it. Then we have Vendread Daybreak. This is one of my favorite cards of all time, and you only need 1. If your opponent controls more cards than you do, choose 1 ritual summon Vendread monster you control and destroy all cards on the field except the chosen monster. It cannot attack directly while it remains face up on the field. You can only activate 1 Vendread Daybreak per turn. And you may think, bro, that's never going to happen. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many times this actually happens for me. It happens quite a lot, and it's just hilarious when they're blowing up, going full combo, and then you just hit them with a Daybreak and it destroy them, and then you just see them immediately scoop, immediately, most of the time. So yeah, this card is a board wipe, like kind of last resort. You know what I mean? Kind of like a last resort type of thing, but at the same time you can search it, and if you do draw it in your hand and your opponent's going off, you could just stop them right in their tracks. Right in their tracks. I love this card. 1 is fine. That's all you need. And that's the main deck. Going on to the extra deck, we have 2 of Vendread Savior. This card's name become a Vendread Slayer while on the field. You can only use each of the following effects of Vendread Savior once per turn. You can target 1 Vendread card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. And then during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send 1 zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. That opponent's monster loses attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 200 until the end of this turn. You want to probably run 3 of this guy. I don't have 3 though. I only have 2, and I'm not about to craft another one, so I'm just going to run with the 2. But basically, this guy right here is one of the best cards in the deck. 1, he's going to help you link and get rid of some of your guys to get their effects to trigger. Because remember, most of these guys, like these 2 guys, they have graveyard effects when they're sent from the field to the graveyard after their ritual summon. They have effects when this ritual summon card goes to the graveyard, right? So if you link, you can easily bring this guy out, or even this guy, or even this guy. Doesn't really matter. But this guy is the best one out of all of these. So basically, like I said, with this guy, you could target a Vendread card. Any Vendread card in your graveyard, get it back to your hand. Including this guy. This guy does count as a Vendread card, even though it does say Revendread, it's still a Vendread card. You know what I mean? So he could get any card essentially back, like all your Vendread shit back from your graveyard to your hand. You can recycle your trap cards, it's like your ritual spells, monsters, whatever you want, right? And then he also has the ability to take a dump during the damage step, and that will help you set up a lot of things like your Doom King Baller Drock engine. It'll help you set up searches with Scar. It'll help you set up Mizuki's. Whatever you need in the graveyard, this guy is going to be there to help you facilitate taking a dump in an even more extravagant manner. You know what I mean? This guy is amazing. You want to run 3 if you're going to be running this deck for this festival, but I only have 2, so run 3. All right, and I have 3 Cross Sheep. Yeah, he's good. You know what I mean? 2 monsters. Monster spell summon to his own discard points, so you can apply the following effects. Ritual, because that's the only one we have. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, and it does come up. It's good. I actually did my last duel, and it was amazing. because you do want to discard. You want stuff in your grave. This guy helps facilitate that amazingly for this deck. Then we have one Dynamondo because I only had one, but you can run however many of this guy you want. He's actually pretty good. Two monsters, including a ritual monster. If this card is special summon, you can target one card on the field and one ritual monster graveyard. Shuffle both into the deck. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, contribute this card and target one ritual monster graveyard. Either add it to your hand or special summon it. You'll use each effective Dynamondo once per turn. So yeah, he's a pretty solid link too, man. Like I remember the first time someone bought him out on me, I was like, what the hell is that? And then I saw what it did and I was like, oh crap. And then I lost. So yeah. So that's the main deck. Let's go ahead and get into some replays. Let's go ahead and get into some replays, y'all. Replay. And I have a bunch of replays here. Look at this. Look at that. All right, let's get into one that I like a lot. This one. The Dark One. So as you can see, our hand is not that good right now. It really ain't. I literally could not do anything right now. I was thinking I was about to lose right now. So I'm like, nah, you ain't stealing my chick. No. Let me get my zombie world out. So we're going up against Dark Magician right now. So he's going full. Oh, I was like, wait, Dark Magician, where the hell did BLS come from? So this is where I said, you know what, I need a top deck right now. I need a top deck. And my deck came through for me. Yeah, boy, came through. So we start off with Evolution, right? Can I get a pause, please? All right, let's get a pause. So we go Evolution. Basically, like I said, you can do monsters from your hand and or deck, right? So, or field. So what I ended up doing was I did a level 2 from my deck and the level 6 in my hand to get a search, and I get a special with Striges, right? Okay. So then we're going to get the search, like I was saying, and we get Striges effect to special summon them. I show my opponent Ravenous Vendread, special Striges. We're going to go ahead and get a search here. I'm going to go ahead and get Vendread Knights. Since I don't need Zombie World, I go ahead and get rid of it and activate Vendread Knights. I discard GamerZero to activate Vendread Knights to get Vendread Slayer. I go ahead and use Ravenous Vendread, special summoning Vendread Revenants from deck face down, tributing Striges and Revenants to ritual summon into Revendread Slayer. The man, the myth, the legend himself comes out, and he's about to start doing some real nasty things right now. He comes out and he's about to banish. He said, BLS, you like banishing stuff? I know you're known for that. Well, I am too. Get your ass up out of here, my boy. And then I get to draw and discard a card. I fortunately draw another GamerZero, so we got double protection coming up. And this guy is about to scoop it up right now. There's nothing this man can do. Yeah, I was like, I don't care. I don't care right now, bro. You're done. You're done. You're done here. You're done here. You're done here, bro. Just leave the game. Because guess what? You know, BLS, you were good at banishing shit, but I'm even better, my guy. Get your ass up out of here. I don't know why he activated that. Probably just to show me what he had. But it doesn't matter, my boy. You lost. So yeah, he ends up giving it up. And we take the dub. We walk away with the dub. And then we're going to go ahead and get it. Like, as you see, most of these duels are 2 turns. Oh, there's 1 3-turn. Let's go ahead and do this one. We're going to Shibi? I don't even know how to say your name, man. I do not know. Shibi. Could be Shibi. I don't know. Anyway. Ooh, this is actually a pretty solid starting hand right here. So I think we're going to start off with Samurai Skull here. He's going to activate his effect to get a dump. I dump Scar the Vendread. He's allowed me a search. I'm going to get Vendread Knights. I'm going to activate it. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to discard Striges here to search. We're going to get Vendread Slayer. And then we're going to activate Striges effect. Reveals the Slayer I just added. Stuff summon it. Then we're going to go Ravenous Vendread, getting Vendread Revenants. We're going to tribute Striges and Revenants to summon the man, the myth, the legend himself, Revendread Slayer, and I think I'm going to pass on that. Actually, no, I don't. I go ahead and banish Revenants to special summon Scar to the field, and then we pass on that. And you know, if you can see some of these duels, I don't have an extra deck because I did not realize that you could use some extra deck guys. So if anything, I was actually making the duels harder on myself, not knowing that I could run the Link monster dedicated to this deck. So he ends up gamma sealing my Slayer. I go ahead and get the search, and I get to search out a Origin, and then I dump a Scar, and then Scar's effect allows me to get charged from my deck to my hand. So we continue our return. I draw a card, and ooh, we are set for everything right now. I go ahead and discard Scavenger to add Battle Lord. I'll go ahead and activate Charge to discard that to special summon Hound Horde. Then I'll go ahead and Revenge Red Origin. We'll go ahead and tribute those two guys off to special summon Vendred Scavenger from my graveyard. Then we'll go ahead and activate Scar, which will allow me to get a search. Do you see how good Scar is? So I'll go ahead and banish the Great Mikanko Ceremony, get rid of that. Then we'll go ahead and Revolution for Battle Lord, dumping a Battle Lord from my deck for the ritual, for the cost of the ritual summon. Battle Lord comes out, boom, and then I'm just gonna proceed to GG no re, right? No, actually we're not gonna GG no re just yet. He's almost done though. He's almost done. I set a card right here, and then my turn. Yeah, set a card, and then my turn, and he ends up giving up the game because he ended his time, man. Yeah, that's how you do it right there. That's how you do with the Vendred zombie mishmash, right? As you can see, I'm talking a lot of bravado because this is like I said, I have this deck in real life, not this version, but a way better version with synchros and all type of shit. And I love it. I love that this is one of my favorite deck of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh right here. And being able to put it on display and kick people's asses with it is just fun for me. So we get Charge, discarding a Scar into Revenants. Scar gets us a search. He gets us Vendred Knights. Vendred Knights activates, discarding Hound Horde to search out Slayer. Then we're going to activate Ravenous Vendred, getting Hound Horde because I was running 2 at the time for this build. And then we get out Slayer. And I'm simply just going to pass the turn, I believe, here. Or actually, no, we're going to activate Scar, banishing one of the Hound Hordes to special summon Scar. And then I end my turn. So this guy has both effects of Scar, of Hound Horde, and Revenants right now. So we're doing real good. This is versus Tunes, by the way. This guy, he was not doing anything. Nothing versus this deck. I let him do whatever he was doing. I was like, yeah, go ahead and add, do all this stupid shit, bro. You're not gonna get that Tune Kingdom out there, buddy. So for some reason he destroyed all my spell and traps. I don't know why he did that. So I let him banish the top 3 and then banish Tune Kingdom. Get your ass up out of here. Alright. So we're simply going to draw and smack right into him. Well, actually, we're putting out beat sticks. I summon Necro World Banshee out there because she wants to have some fun too. You know what I mean? And I could also potentially banish her quick effect on my opponent's turn to get a zombie world to the field if I need to do that. So he goes ahead and summons Toon Blackluster Soldier. Slayer says, "My boy, bye," and gets him up out of there with his Revenant's effect. Then Tune Kingdom activates, and Slayer says, "Ha ha ha ha, you're funny." And yeah, Tune said, "I don't want to play with you anymore." And I said, "Good." Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this three-turn game here. Three-turn game. I believe this is versus one of the most popular decks in the format of this festival right now. And it only took 3 turns to kind of just shit on him. And it was his fault. It was his fault, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I start off with pre-preparation of rites. We search out Origin, and we search out Slayer. The reason I do that is because I'm going to ritual summon with Origin, and I'm going to tribute Scar to summon Revendred Slayer to the board. This time we do have our extra deck, so I go ahead and get Ravenous Vendred, yeah. And I link off the Slayer and my Necro Banshee after normal summoning or summoning Cross Sheep. Then this is the combo right here I was telling you about. We're going to add Evolution, and we're going to dump Battle Lord. Now we're going to go ahead and go, boom, Battle Lord, right? We want to ritual summon, dump a Battle Lord from my deck for a 1-card ritual. Battle Lord. And this is what I was talking about right here. This is summon number 4. We draw 2, discard 2. I'm going to go ahead and activate, banish the Battle Lord that can't be used right now, and do monster cards. Now we're going to go ahead and go crazy with the entire combo now. We're going to go Avenged Savior, and then Savior summoned, right? Savior summoned. Then we activate Battle Lord Engrave. He lets us get a ritual monster from our deck to our hand, and then dump a Vendred monster from the deck to the grave, right? So we send Hound Horde. And I couldn't get the full combo out right now, but we got a pretty good one right now. Pretty good one. You know what I mean? Because if I would have been able to get one more guy out, aka that Gozuki, or like something to just let me take a dump, I could have got out Doom King Baller Drock on top of all of this. On top of all of this. So we're going to go ahead and get Ravenous back just for next turn to set up, and we pass. We pass with a... He has both effects of Hound Horde and Revenant, and we have a Zombie World, and we have Savior. Chilling. Yeah. So this is Mikanko's, by the way. So he's going crazy with his Ohimes right now. He's grabbing Ohimes like a motherfucker. He's going to reveal to get a Mikanko card, and he discards one. And did you see that? Did you see? He had Nib. He had the Nib. This is exactly the situation I was trying to tell you all about. Summon number 4, Battle Lord. He had Nibiru in hand. And this is why when you do this combo, that is what you want to do. Summon number 4, Battle Lord. Activate effect, monster cards. Because then he discarded it, bro. It's just useless. He knows that I'm too smart to play into Nibiru. Just off of that combo alone. So he gets rid of it. He's like, it's not going to work on this guy. And he had it. He had it turn 1. I know he had it turn 1. He didn't just draw that shit. There's no fucking way. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and continue. So he's going, I'm like, no, banish, bye. Get that shit up out of here. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I don't like it. So he goes that, so he can go Maya Washidori or whatever, right? Yep, so he goes Maya Washidori to special and equip, and he gets another Mikanko card. He sets 2 and then just toy. I'm like, man. And this is where the true power of the zombie horde comes through. So I dump a glow. I summon Gozuki to dump a glow up bloom, activate glow up bloom's effect, banish it to special summon Doom King Baller Drunk. So I go ahead and banish that spell or trap right there. And since he did chain to the effect, I won't be able to activate Baller Drock right now. But we got other ways. We got Mizuki, activate, banish, spell summon, Scar, Baller Drock's effect. So I go ahead and activate the effect to banish a monster. It does not target. Doom King Baller Drock does not target, by the way. So yeah, see? Banish 1 monster from the field or graveyard. Does not target. And that is how I was able to get over the Hugh Lee. And I know this guy was shitting bricks at this point because he has nothing now. He does have a trap, but he essentially has nothing now. So go ahead and continue. He goes ahead and special summon 1. He activates, what is this? Mikanko Promise. Special summon 1 Mikanko monster from your hand or deck. Then you can equip it with 1 equip spell from your hand or graveyard that can equip to that monster. Banish that monster when it leaves the field, right? And he's thinking, I don't know, I guess he wanted a Maya Washidori. I don't know why. But it's all good though, because I'm like, you want to bring that bitch out? Fine. We about to show you what's up. Avenged Savior once again, just so I could get him up off the field and bring another one out. And I needed that search with Battle Lord. Or Battle Lord, was that Battle Lord? Well, whatever. I needed to get that guy off the field, right? So we'll go ahead and go Battle Lord. Boom. And he's going to attempt to try this. And I say no. And yeah, because pretty much what's going to end up happening was I was going to bring out another Slayer to banish the Axle Fools equipped to my other Slayer. And then I'll have 2 guys that can banish spells and traps. And then I could also banish a special summon monster as well. So yeah, he was in a bit of a pickle right there. And there was really nothing he could do about it. So we're going to go ahead and play some of these shorter duels. They're only 2 turns, so you really can't expect much. But, it's always funny when a guy scoops on your turn. They did something, and then you do some things, and they just give up. Okay. Now this hand is pretty good right here. Reason being is because this guy thinks he's the shit right now. He thinks he's the shit right now. He thinks he's the shit right now. I don't know what he's going for. He thought he did the most to me. He thought he did. And look, here's the thing though. Actually, nah, because I could have still got everything I needed with the play that I would have done next. So yeah, this guy goes into cross sheep. You know, he's going crazy right now. He goes aqua mirror, tribute to summon. He's like, I'm gonna snatch some cards out your hand. I'm gonna draw 2, ditch 2. Like, bro, I am going crazy right now. And I'm like, okay. Look at that, man. Look at that. He's going crazy right now, or at least he thinks he's going crazy. So I'm like, all right, do it all, right? Unizombie. So I go Vendread Charge, activate, discarding Scar of Vendread to summon Vendread Revenants. Activating Scar of Vendread to search. He Ash Blossom, thinking he's about to shut my turn down. But I say, you're pretty good, right? And then I normal summon Unizombie, and he gives up. Because, dude, I was going to be able to get everything I needed. You know what I mean? It would have been bad for him. It would have been bad for him. You know? So, yeah, he gave up because he knew what was coming. He saw it. It was all laid out. The plan was there. So I proceeded to commence the actions. All right, we got Samurai Skull. I do go first. Samurai Skull number summon into Banshee. We're going to Foolish Burial, check for Ash. No Ash was triggered, so I chain Necroll Banshee to activation of Foolish Burial to activate Zombie Roll directly from my deck. Foolish Burial will send Doom King Ballardrock because I'm an idiot. Because for some reason I was looking at Ballardrock and I dumped him instead of dumping Glow Up Bloom. Then we activate Pre-Prep. We go ahead and go into Ravenous and Scavenger. We'll go ahead and go into Evolution, dumping Scar or Stridges and Scar. I don't know where Scar came from. He probably was in the grave. I don't remember, or in my hand. One of those was in my hand. One goes from the deck. Okay, and then we go into Scavenger. Scavenger comes down, and Scar's gonna activate, getting me a switch, and then I'm gonna get a special. And then I'm also going to get another special, I believe. Do I go ahead and do it? No, I do not do it. I go ahead and bring out Stridges, and I grab Reorigin, and I link those two guys off to go into a Vendread Savior. Then we're going to go ahead and Ritual Summon again with Ravenous. We're going to go ahead and use Samurai Skull and Revenants just to give this guy an effect. We're going to go Scavenger one more time, and I know it looks like a bad move, but we're going to go ahead and activate Slayer, or Savior, but he is Slayer technically on the field, to get Ravenous Vendread from our grave to our hand. And then we're going to end our turn on standby phase by we're going to summon Ballardrock. So we have 3 disruption right here. 3 disruption. And this guy gets completely dicked down. Completely. So he goes into Libromancer Fire, and I negate that effect for him to get a search. Then he goes ahead and pre-preps into Bonded and into another Fire Burster, which is completely fine by me. So then he go ahead and activates Libromancer First Appearance, adding Geek Boy, and then Geek Boy's effect he reveals to special summon, and then Geek Boy will get a Libromancer spell card from his deck to his hand. Then he'll activate Libromancer Realize, which will allow him to reveal a Libromancer Ritual monster in his hand and special summon a Fire token. Cyber's 0 attack, 0 defense, Fire with the same levels of reveal monster, and while he controls that token, he cannot special summon monsters except Libromancer monsters, right? So he's gonna get his Fire token, right? So he's gonna activate his field spell to Ritual Summon into Fire Burster. Fire Burster comes down, and since a monster was tributed, I go ahead and trigger Scar of the Vendread. And then since I did activate a Zombie Monsters effect, I can also trigger Doom King Ballardrock, which will allow me to banish Fire Burster from the game. And then Scar of the Vendread returns to the field from the grave. So he's going to go Bonded into another Fire Burster, right? No problems there, because we have Vendread Scavenger with Vendread Revenant's effect on it, and I banish Fireburster. And I say goodbye. And then if he had anything else, I have that trap card face down to tribute one of his guys and get a Vendread token. So you see how disruptive this deck can be. You can see how disruptive this deck can be. So now we're going up against Magma. Magma. My guy Magma getting shit on in the tournament. So we'll go ahead and go Knights, and we discard Slayer to search, was it Houndhorde? Yes, yes. Then we go pre-prep, Ravenous Vendread, and Vendread Scavenger. And then we summon this dude, Houndhorde, and go summon Revenants with Ravenous's effect to summon Revendread Slayer. And then we'll go Daybreak face down, past the tween. So we'll go ahead and another Libromancer deck. I'm not even going to say the plays here. I'm just going to let y'all watch this shit. It's just hilarious. It's fucking great. I love this shit, man. You know I fucking love this shit. So he decides to go. I don't know why he didn't Harpy's Fairy Duster sooner, but he didn't. So he's going to get shit on for it. Yeah. And then he goes Libromancer first appearance, and I say no. He goes pre-prep, so he is going to be able to get a search. He goes in a Fire Burster. Tributes Fire Burster to summon Fire Burster, right? And I say no. We don't like it. And he gives up. He gives up. That easily, we took down another Libromancer deck. I can definitely tell you that's one of the most popular decks in this tournament. I've faced it multiple times. We're going to go ahead and go into, I don't even know what your name is because it's in a language I do not speak that you wrote it in. So we're going to go up against this guy right here. Oh, this is a sick-ass starting hand. This starting hand is sick. So he's going to start off well with another Libromancer deck. You see how popular this deck is, bro. I don't know, there's so many fucking Libromancer decks. This is just insane, the amount of Libromancer decks that were coming out. And this guy actually does, I believe he does get the Fire Burster combo out. I believe he does. And if he doesn't, he's an idiot. He's an idiot if he didn't do it. Misty Girl. Fire Burster. I don't know why he didn't bring out Firestarter and then Fire Burster. I don't know why he didn't do that. So we go ahead and start off with pre-preparation of Rice. Get your Revendread Origin and Revendread Slayer from our deck to our hand. He gets to pump up his guy. I go Vendread Charge into Revenants. Scar activates, searching me Vendread Knights. Right? Vendread Knights will activate. I'll activate Vendread Knights, discarding Slayer to add Scavenger from my deck to my hand. Then I will normal summon Houndhorde, bringing out all the entire trio of Vendread monsters to give my Scavenger every single ability. Then we'll banish for Scar to summon it, and then we'll banish his spell card, and we'll banish that other guy. What was it? Oh, Agent. So yeah, Agent is banished. I go ahead and search, tribute, damn, it's going kind of fast. I tribute Slayer, damn, for Scavenger, and then we go ahead and get a search. I go Battle Lord, boom, bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And this is OTK right here. This is what I was telling y'all about. Look, this is dumb. This is dumb, bro. The stupidest thing ever, man. The stupidest thing ever. Vendread Knights, y'all. One OTK. OTK. Now, I do have one more replay, but unfortunately, I'm literally less than a minute away from the video, my recording time. So I'm going to end off the video here. This is GamerZero, and I'm signing out. Thank for everybody for watching. If you do like the video, hit me with a like. If you do like my content, hit me with a subscribe. Let me know about the deck. Let me know if you like it. Leave me some comments. Show me your builds. You know, whatever you want to do. You know, hit me up about it because I am a person. I do like human interaction. You know what I mean? So this is me, and I'm out of here, y'all. And enjoy. Peace.